And today we're joined by a very, very special guest. How you getting on, man?
Good. How are you?
Just fucking delighted to have you on today.
Thank you for having me.
For anyone who's on the audio version, we're joined by Nico Ali Walsh. I just told him what Walsh meant as well. So that's my life
Yes, I
accomplishment.
learn something new every day.
There you go. Okay, so Muhammad Ali's grandson, and you just demolished a guy in your pro debut. How does it feel?
It feels great. I wish I had more time to celebrate, but I'm actually glad I don't because I'm getting right into the next camp for the next fight.
It's a good way to be.
Wow, man.
Yeah,
That was
stay
quick.
busy.
Shit.
Oh,
Do you have a fight announced, or is it like you're still waiting for an offer?
yeah, no, I just recently announced it through my Instagram. It is October 23rd, and it'll be in Atlanta, but everybody can watch it on ESPN. So it's going to be exciting.
I say so. But
Fun fact,
Yeah.
man. That fight's gonna be on my birthday. Holy shit.
Oh, really?
What a birthday present. Thank you, Nico.
Yeah, absolutely.
you better win for him.
Yeah, no, it's for you now.
Good man yourself. But do you not feel like a certain level of pressure? Like this is like your second fight now, and you're probably expected to kill this guy.
I would say the pressure all comes from the first fight. I was an amateur boxer, so I have some experience with boxing with a crowd, but never at the magnitude of ESPN, and definitely not a crowd the size that there was for my first fight. So the pressure is off as far as I'm concerned. The pressure valve has been, released. It's always that first fight. That's what every fighter says. And now I'm just having fun. So second fight, if I just continue on with what I'm doing, I think I'm getting better every day. So I would say next fight's going to be better than the first one, and the third one will be better than the second.
A spooky
And
thing to hear.
a lot of fighters feel the pressure for especially for their pro debut. Do you think there was an added pressure, especially from your family and who you are, and what your family means to boxing?
Yeah, there's definitely a ton of pressure with Ali being my middle name, and I just feel like I was born this way. I've never not been an Ali. I've never not felt the pressure of being Ali's grandson. So something that I was born into, maybe that's easier for me to cope with now, being that I'm 21 now. So I had 21 years to get my stuff together. If I don't have it by now, then I'll never have it. And I say I'm kind of coming to terms with it.
Does that not sound a bit premature to you? Like you're 21, dude. You got like a while to your prime.
Yeah, you know what? I would say I'm an old soul, but I'm very young at heart. So it's, everyone, especially in the boxing world, guys who are in their 20s are babies. They're like seen as infants. So, I mean, I would say I do have a long road ahead before like a prime, but these are the memories that, count. The first fight, the first couple fights, these are the exciting times that I look forward to remembering.
So you think you're a step ahead of everyone in your age
You
category.
know, I mean, yeah, in terms of the way I deal with pressure, I would say that I've been trained to deal with it my whole life, just being my grandfather being who he was. So I would say I'm able to deal with that pressure more so than if someone were just born at the age of 20 into a family legacy like me.
Fair enough. What kind of chills did you get when everyone started chanting Ali?
What kind of chills?
Yeah, that must have been like a pretty epic moment for you. That they put that in a movie.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I saw Creed when it came out, and it's like now it's like I'm living it almost. And I mean, I never thought they would chant that. I didn't think they were going to be chanting for me. I didn't know whose side the crowd would be on. I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking about the fight. But hearing the chants was so crazy that I only heard it in black and white films on YouTube. Of my grandfather, his fights. So that was crazy. That was really wild.
That's
That's
actually
history, man. That's so
it's a
cool.
pretty good comparison. I like that, Creed to yourself. I like that. That's
Yeah,
a
I
cute,
mean,
cute little
I watched
comparison.
the movie back in the day, and I was boxing back when it came out, and I was like, wow, this. I mean, if I could relate to any boxing movie ever, it's definitely this one.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So when did you start boxing?
I mean, I started boxing seriously at the age of 14, but I've been boxing at like 10. I started off for doing charity events, exhibitions where it doesn't count on any record. And it was for like children's cancer research, that kind of thing. And my uncle put me into those fights, those exhibitions, and I just was having fun with it. And I just stuck with it, and I never knew I would be at this point. But it's always been a dream of mine to get to the point I'm at, uh, but I didn't know where that point was, if that makes any sense.
I don't get that. I don't get what you mean.
Okay, let me try to explain better. When I was a kid, I always knew that I wanted to be successful with whatever my passions are with boxing. I didn't know if it would be being signed with Top Rank, being on ESPN, doing this podcast with you guys, winning my first fight. I never knew what success looked like, but I knew that I knew the way it would feel, and that's the way I'm feeling now. So I'm very proud that I've made it to this point, and I've just got the future to look forward to.
Dude, you got a massive thing to look forward to. Like the sky's the limit for you right now. You got the name behind you, and you got the skill to back it up. Like there's nothing bad going on. I'd hope.
As long as I have the people behind me, I think that's all that matters. That's what I find more important.
Do you
Like,
think if the crowd wasn't in your favor, it would affect you?
If that crowd wasn't, I don't know if it would affect me for the first fight because I didn't even realize the crowd was like there. As dumb as that sounds, I was so focused on the fight that I barely remember um anybody. I seriously, but it definitely helps having the crowd on your side. I didn't notice if they were booing me, I wouldn't have noticed. I didn't notice until they were chanting for me. So that's a good, trait to have. I don't notice the crowd until they're on my side.
That's a good way to be.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because yeah, man, you went in there swinging. I think you started off with a body shot and then just kept the right hand to the head, and
right.
you almost dropped him in like the third, second punch.
Yeah, it was so weird because I had never gone over that particular combo through all of training camp. And right before I walked out of the dressing room, right before the fight, uh, my trainer was like, "Hey, real quick, I just feel like this combo will work. Up to the body, 1, 2. Let's just do that." And I was like, "Okay." And once after the first knockdown, I looked at my trainer, and he just went up and motioned. He was just super calm, and it worked. So I got that little tidbit of advice right before walking out into the ring.
Shit. And
Man, it
so
worked.
that was the game plan going in.
Yeah.
And did you expect it to work as well as it did? I mean, you got a first round TKO, man. It worked pretty
Yeah, no,
spectacular.
I definitely wasn't expecting. I was prepared to go the full 4 rounds, as I will be for every fight, prepared to go the distance. I definitely have the wind for it. I'm in shape to do it. But I was more than happy to not go the full 4 rounds.
Fair enough. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think that it's not very often you see a fighter going for their pro debut, and you have the attention you've had. Like
Mhm.
comparable, I know it's not boxing, but like Conor McGregor when he went in for his UFC debut,
Right.
everyone knew about it. That new guy, Paddy the Baddy. I can't think of any for
Yep.
for boxing. Like where people were this hyped about a
Yeah.
fighter coming in.
Yeah, no, I can't think of any either. It's an honor. More than anything, I love the fact that people are still showing love to my grandfather. People are still showing love to him, through me, which is awesome. I'll take that. I'll take that any day. I'm gaining some of the fans that were his fans, so I love that. If I walked up to you and said, "I love your grandfather. I'm gonna love you," I mean, you would feel like, "Oh, you love my grandfather. I love you too," and that's how it feels.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
first of all, I'd ask who you are. Second of all, yeah, I agree.
Right. I mean, it seems so weird, but I'm used to it at this point. People like, I know your grandfather, so it feels like in a way I know them. I'm like, you're part of the team.
And were you and your grandfather close? Because I know in his later years now he suffered with dementia, and I don't know if
Yeah, no, he had Parkinson's, and but we were super close, and we lived so close to each other. We were only about 3.5 hours away, in terms of like traveling time in a car. So I was always spending time with him every Thanksgiving, every one of his birthdays, like just all those big events, and yeah, super super duper close.
I mean that's good. That's good to see.
Yeah.
Um,
And you know what's interesting is that he was my only grandfather. All my other grandfathers had passed away before I was born. So, grandparents are kind of like I feel like a lot of people have just a real tight relationship with their grandparents, and he was my only grandfather, so we were super tight.
Funny enough, I'm on the same boat as yourself.
Really?
My other grandfather died before I was born, or actually
Oh
just
yeah.
shortly after I was born. So
actually I'm also in that same boat. I lived with my only grandparent for 10
Right.
years.
You get super
Like,
close to them if
yeah,
you
mm,
got you got no other option.
yeah,
yeah, man.
that's pretty spooky though. The three of us. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't know about you. I didn't know about that, Thomas. Um, so would you be close to like Mike Tyson? Because I know he was good friends with. That's a pretty blunt question, but
No, I don't know if I would say I'm close to him, but if I called him, or if I called his wife, I should say, I'm close with Mike Tyson. Yeah, I'm the Tyson family in my family are super tight, super super duper tight. Um, I've never called him on the phone from my phone. He's been to one of my amateur fights. Uh, I love them. We're super close with their family.
yeah, I mean, I should have like said that question better, but you get what I meant.
Yeah, no, I
I've seen
understand what
plenty
you
of
mean
stuff of
entirely.
yeah.
Entirely. We're in constant communication with his family.
It's good to see. What do you
Yeah.
think of? I mean, you're on the younger end of boxers, but he's like still trying to fight in like his later years. What do you think of that kind of stuff?
As long as he doesn't get hurt, his last fight, I know he's older, but I thought he looked great, especially for his age. I thought he looked like it was surprising because unfortunately the way Holyfield looked, I don't know if you've seen, but the way
Yeah,
Holyfield looked last week was, I don't want him fighting. I don't want to see him get hurt again. But Mike Tyson didn't get hurt. That didn't happen to him. So I don't know. I would definitely not condone it though, because I don't want to see Mike Tyson getting hurt.
What do you think makes the likes of the Mike Tyson Roy Jones fight interesting and the Evander fight like rough to look at?
I don't know. I would say the outcome of the fights. You never know what you're getting yourself into because obviously these guys were extreme athletes, but Evander Holyfield, if I'm correct, is about 5 years older than Mike. And I'm told when you're in your 50s, each year is like a dog year. It's like each year is like takes away 7 years. It's like you're so much older, especially in the sport of boxing. So Evander being just 5 years older makes a huge difference, and I feel like we saw it in his fight.
Plus,
yeah,
he fought a guy who was like what 44,
Yeah, something like
massive
that.
age
So
difference.
relatively young compared to him.
Yeah, I thought that's what made it pretty disturbing. Because like
Yeah, and so I would stay away from that. If it was up to me, I would definitely say stay away from those things. Everyone, I would say, everyone I know at least loves Mike Tyson. He's got his podcast going. Everyone watches that I know. So I would say stick with that because I love him and I don't want to ever see him get hurt.
of
would
course.
you ever gonna go on hot boxing, man?
I would love to. I would love to. I've been there. I've been there at his place. What is it called? Tyson Ranch. Yeah, Tyson Ranch. I've been there. I trained a little bit. I got to watch him train for his fight. So yeah, hopefully one day I'll get invited or bring it up to him and his people.
There's no way you don't end up on that show. There's no way.
Yeah, now I would say just when is now the question.
Yeah. And then
That'd be
after
fun though.
that,
I
maybe Joe
wouldn't
Rogan.
be hot boxing though.
Fair. You're not into that stuff, are you?
No, I've never smoked or drank ever. So,
Really? And you're 21, so you can.
right. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy, but I'm not much of a party goer either, so I've always been focused on boxing.
I mean,
a great
I can
start,
seriously
man.
respect that, but
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't end up like in your later years you become party animal and then you
No,
skip on
you know
boxing.
what? I feel like I just don't see it happening. I really don't. It's tough for me to go out to parties as it is, you know. I'm that guy when I go out to parties with my brother or whoever it is. We're out in the corner just laughing, doing our own thing. There's no need for us to even be there.
Um, fair enough. Have you ever found people kind of gravitate towards you because of their name? Like people might like you see it. Like people try social climb. Do you
Of
think
course.
people try to do that to you, or have you ever experienced it?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it throughout my whole life. I've never been able to determine who likes me for me and who doesn't, unless they meet me and like me before they figure out who I am. And it's unfortunate, but it's, it all comes with the territory. And the more I gain notoriety in boxing, the more successful I become in boxing, uh, the more social climbers there will be.
How it is these days, man. Everybody
Yeah.
leeching off each other.
Oh
It's
yeah, that's and Mike Tyson knew about that the best. Like he would say exactly what he was thinking, and he was unapologetic about it. That's why I think people love him, because he just said what he was authentic.
kept it real, man.
Especially when it came down to the leeches, as you say.
I think there's a couple of reasons people love him. I think he went crazy for a while.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I've seen
but
pictures of
he was always himself. He never never apologized for being himself. There will never be another Mike Tyson in terms of boxing and in
never.
terms of his personality. There will never be another him.
Yeah, yeah, literally. There's no one who could really
No,
get to that level again.
no.
Maybe some young guy we've never heard of, but I doubt it. Yeah,
Yeah, someone maybe that's not born yet.
maybe we'll see him one day. But
Who knows?
for now,
Right.
he's the only one we have. We'll keep him around. Yeah, Thomas, you're a massive fan of his podcast, aren't you?
Yeah, I watch his pod. I listen to them when I'm on the way to college sometimes. I like this Ruiz Canelo. Like the guy's had the best on, man. Like he gets the good guests on. You got to give it to him.
Yeah, he
And
does.
Had Khabib on. That was crazy.
mm,
Oh no, that was great. That was probably one of the best ones, I think. That
yeah,
was
Yeah.
great.
Hmm.
But Canelo, man, Canelo's my favorite fighter. Canelo might be my favorite fighter of all time. I love Canelo.
Really. And,
I'm
and
a huge Canelo fan.
there's like a possibility there that you two, you never know, man.
Oh, that is not a possibility in my book.
Really?
I'll go up 2 weight classes. I'll go down 3 weight classes, whatever it takes to avoid Canelo. Nobody on earth right now can beat Canelo.
I respect your honesty.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you like it is.
Yeah,
And he has another fight book now. He's fighting November
He's fighting
8th.
Caleb Plant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Vegas.
And Caleb Plant is here in town in Vegas. And he kind of trains at the same gym that I train at. So I have nothing but respect for Caleb Plant, but I've always been Team Canelo. I've always loved Canelo. So I can't, jump ship now, but it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be an excellent fight, and probably one of the best fights of the year.
Absolutely,
Definitely top 3 fights of the year.
And man, that night is so stacked because you got the Canelo fight, and also on the same night you got 268, because we're big UFC guys. So you got UFC 268, like you got Usman, Covington. It's a huge fight.
Right.
For
No,
netting.
it's a big fight night. Fight night. November's a fighting month.
Yeah.
I might have another fight in November. I'm waiting to hear today about that.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
So that'd be your third fight booked.
It would be the third fight. I'm waiting to see if it's going to be November or December, but yeah. That would be the third fight. They're definitely keeping me busy, so I'll be fighting like I won't be like Mayweather, who fights or who was fighting once a year or once every other year, something like that. Definitely not me. They want me to stay busy, so that's the best thing for me.
Yeah,
That's the
definitely.
thing in boxing, right? They wanna pad up your record right now. They're looking for you to have big long win streak, and usually in boxing it's beating these guys that are 0-50. You look at guys like Tommy Fury, man, and that's most of his opponents. But yourself, like you fought a guy that's 4-1. It's pretty respectable.
Yeah,
And the guy
I was nervous and definitely going into boxing. I wanted it to be a point that I'm not fighting, construction workers, for my first couple fights. I want to be getting better each fight. And these the matchmaker at Top Rank is Bruce Trampler, and he's in the Hall of Fame. He's in the Boxing Hall of Fame, so he knows exactly what he's doing. He picks the opponents that will look great with me and that I will get better fighting. And I just train my hardest so that I could beat each and every one of them.
That's such a cool thing to hear.
Yeah. I mean,
I,
it's just, and it's all about the training too.
I mean, man, we talk to a lot of fighters, like a lot, but just hearing the way like you're talking now and how excited you are for what's coming up next, it's fucking it's cool and it's scary.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's super exciting, in a year's time, so much will change, and I'll be able to tell you guys something entirely different.
Yeah, man.
I
I
hope
mean, by
hope
that
so.
time, man, you'll have fought maybe, I'm thinking 5, 6 times. Like,
Right.
if you keep going at
Yeah.
the
And
pace you're
that's
going.
crazy to think about. That's crazy to think about. But yeah, I would have probably this time next year would fight 5 or 6 more times. And I might be on hot boxing by that point.
Oh my
I hope.
god. Well, you're gonna be in such high demand after that.
Yeah, no,
I'd say you're in high demand at the
I'm
moment
excited.
already. Anyway,
It's what?
I'd say you're already in high demand.
Yeah, after the first fight, I'm on a good I want to keep this momentum going, I should say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't want to see you like do too much though.
No, I definitely don't. The people that I have around me, they're great. I have basically my uncle is my manager. He's my agent, and so I'm keeping my family close. And my trainer, I love my trainer's Tyson Fury's trainer, Sugar Hill.
Yeah.
I love Sugar. My team around me is just perfect. So they know what they're doing, and everything's off of a handshake. You know, that's the way that the people around me work. So all good people. I've got no complaints.
It's good
It's
to
good
hear,
to
man.
see.
That you can trust those people in your circle.
Oh
Because
yeah.
we've seen in boxing, and you have the wrong people in your circle,
I've
shit
seen
goes wrong.
it. I've seen it with my grandfather. I've seen it.
Yeah.
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 Had a good question there. What was it? Oh yeah. Do you have any like dream fights, like people you want to fight in your career eventually?
Oh man, I have no idea. So many people might come up, but like you said, the Canelo thing. If I ever were to fight Canelo, ever on Earth, if I were to, I would not I would not pick up a boxing glove a day after that, because that would be like in my mind, that would be like fighting Mike Tyson. I have the utmost respect for Canelo, and I think he's the greatest fighter of my time. So that would be a dream fight, but only a dream fight. We can leave it in the dreams.
I
Fair
like that,
enough.
man. I like it.
And do you have any plans for more exhibition fights for charity or anything?
Yeah, of course. I'm really big on charitable acts and giving back, and that's the way my grandfather was. That's the way I was raised. So next year I'll be doing a lot more with that. I'm looking forward to it because I love that stuff.
And those exhibition fights, they won't count towards your records. They'll be like just normal fights, or do you think it'll be an actual fight, but the money will be donated to the charity?
I have no idea how it would work. I don't know if it would even be exhibitions, but definitely a ton of charitable events. I'm planning on doing now and participating in now. So I'm looking forward to whatever I can do that will help others. I love that stuff. So I'm just looking forward to that.
It's cool.
Look forward to it too, man. Like
Me
we
too,
we
man.
just seen a massive boxing event here in Ireland. It was done for the Irish Wheelchair Association. We had a comedian set up this whole thing with like former Olympic gold medalist Paddy Barnes, and
Mhm.
they raised €40,000 for the charity.
Wow.
It's amazing, especially because like there was comedians involved, so they kind of had like mock fights, but a lot of them
Yeah.
were genuine. And I love the way sports can do that kind of stuff, gather awareness, get people watching, get people donating.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's great. It's great.
I'd
It
say
really
from your
is.
yeah, I'd say from your point of view, it's way different though, because you're the actual fighter there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I think the same way. I think sports, is a great platform for people to use. People bring change. My grandfather brought change because of, the platform he was given with boxing. So that's what I look to do also. And I'm looking forward to doing it.
So when it comes to some of these I don't know what you call them, some of the weird boxing matches going on recently, the
Yes.
likes of the Logan Paul and Jake Paul. How do you feel on that
Right.
stuff?
Um I know that it's not like, I wouldn't say it's true boxing. If you ask me, are you looking forward to the Logan Paul fight or the Canelo fight, I would be like, I mean, come on, I'm looking forward to the Canelo fight. But they're doing great for their audience. Like, their audience is like, the YouTube fans, the guys that they, or the people that they got became fans with through their platform of YouTube. I think I don't know much about them, but um, I would say they're doing good for what they want to do. They want to make money. They're making a lot of money, so I guess it's good.
But
Yeah, man.
even like the likes of Logan having what, a 0-2 record and then fighting Floyd Mayweather.
Mayweather, very very strange. I never thought. I mean, I heard the rumors of that fight. Never thought it was going to happen. Very weird that it happened. I mean, you know, but I mean, somebody's watching it, because they keep coming back. So definitely for whoever, for their fan base, it's, celebrity matchups, people can never turn their eyes to them. If you get someone like uh one rapper fighting another rapper, people are going to tune in. And that's kind of what's going on with, Logan Paul. And
Uh,
it's not true boxing. I think he understands that it's not true boxing. He's never going to be fighting the likes of Canelo or Billy Joe Saunders, or that's never going to happen. But the matchups are good for his audience, and it's getting a lot of attention. So
just with that Logan and Floyd thing, it felt like a glorified sparring session. You know,
it
there was
was, and that's exactly what it was. And you know what? So I mean, it's almost like they tricked people into spending money for that, because they made millions off that. So I didn't purchase the fight because I didn't want to see it, but a lot of people did. So it's good for Logan Paul and Mayweather, I guess.
hmm,
Fair enough. And then
Yeah.
the other Paul brother, who's not fighting boxers, do you think that's kind of like a dirty way of fighting? Like he's just throwing money at MMA fighters to fight him?
He's definitely going for money. He's not going for legacy in boxing. I know he may have mentioned that, like, he loves boxing and that kind of thing, but he's not fighting boxers. So it's definitely, he's looking for the money. He's looking for the attention. He's getting everything he's looking for. So he'll continue doing what he's doing. The real fighters will continue doing what they're doing. And yeah, I guess it's just everyone stays in their own lane, I guess.
Yeah.
hmm,
And with the rumors going on that he's to fight Tommy Fury, or has that been confirmed, Thomas?
it's rumored for December. Yeah.
Who do you think wins that bout?
Um, I have to say, I mean, Tommy Fury is Tyson Fury's half brother.
Yeah.
I would be on the Fury side because I'm training with Fury's trainer. So, and I've been a huge Tyson Fury fan. Canelo and Tyson Fury have been my dudes. I've looked up to them for years. So I'm Team Fury for that fight,
You
Uh,
if it is to happen.
yeah.
just presumably then you think Fury takes the dub with Wilder?
Yeah, no, I have, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Makes sense.
just there's no explaining this. Yes.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yes, I haven't had fighters in today's boxing that I've looked up to, uh, like I've looked up to Tyson Fury. For the stuff, for everything he said outside of boxing, I've always looked up to him. In terms of his boxing skills, he's like a total mystery. Nobody can, emulate him. He's got such a weird style, and he wins and he makes it work. So he's one of those unique people, like Mike Tyson. There will never be another Tyson Fury. There will never be another Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
I can imagine it's pretty hard to not be a fan of him. Like if you're
Yeah.
rooting for either guy, you're probably just having a hard time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see why anybody could ever dislike Fury. He's such a genuine guy. I've only met him a few times, but just from the videos I've seen and from what I've heard from people, such a genuine guy. I don't see how anyone can dislike him. I really don't.
I don't know if you saw that thing he did with Gary Neville. He did an interview with him today. The guy just speaks the truth. I don't even know. Do you know who Gary Neville is? I'm just thinking he's an English football player.
No, I didn't get to see that interview, but I'll definitely see it if he took it. I watch all his stuff, so I'll see it.
I think it's a Overlap on YouTube. Check it out.
Really?
It's really, really good. It's him and ex-Man United football player. They just have an interview. He goes to Tyson Fury's house. It's really interesting, and he talks about
Tyson will be back in Vegas soon, and then he's gonna continue his camp here in Vegas, which preparing for the fight, which is great.
And are you gonna go to the fight?
Yeah, I'm gonna be at the fight, and I'm gonna be a part of his camp. In whatever fashion I can.
That's cool. It's good to see you guys just supporting each other. It's nice.
Crazy.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, he saw some of my stuff before my fight. He gave me a little bit of advice, but I didn't, because the Wilder fight was supposed to have already happened. So I didn't want to bother him. I didn't come up to him at all, just waves and smiles. But this time around, we'll get a lot more time to speak, I think. Me, him, and Sugar.
It's nice.
It's cool.
Sugar Hill.
Sugar Hill is my trainer. It's Tyson's trainer.
I don't know. Whatever way you said that, I was like, O'Malley. Like,
yeah.
him?
Oh, no. I mean, I'm a fan of him. I'm a fan of him, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's talking about maybe not continue with the UFC, man, and he could bulk up. That could be a future fight. That's a big fight, man. That guy's a big name. You two ever stepped inside the ring together?
I'm a fan of his. I love what I've seen from him. So I don't know if that would ever happen, but I want to see him keep fighting. I'm a fan. I love watching him.
Same, man. No, he's a very good fighter. And
oh yeah.
I think that guy he fought the last time, Chris Martino, I think he broke both of Sean O'Malley's hands just with his face.
Yeah. Sean O'Malley broke his fist punching Chris's face.
That was a tough fight. I mean, that was tough to watch.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We were. This is the
McGregor.
Before McGregor. We were up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to watch that fight. It happens at most events over here. They're not fans of Europeans. They keep it late.
Yeah.
So we're sitting up there watching 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, seeing this guy's head just absorb punches like it was nothing. It woke us up.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, it was unique. And then the upset with McGregor, that put us straight to sleep.
Yeah, of course.
No, actually, we're all at a buddy's house, and we were so disappointed, every single one of us, at 7 o'clock in the morning, having not slept. We all just went home. We all were just so pissed off. We went home. Couldn't stick around to talk about it.
Horrible. Nobody could see that coming.
No.
Yeah,
No.
freak accident, but it
Definitely.
hurts. Hurts, especially when you're Irish.
Of course, I get it.
Yeah, you know what it's like, Mr. Walsh.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I'm part Irish myself.
yeah. I was saying before we started, to anyone listening, that the Walsh name means foreigner in Old Irish, and but it also means Welshman. So you didn't know that beforehand. So
No.
I actually feel privileged having told you that.
Yeah, no, I'm glad I'm learning.
It's cool, man. It's cool.
Yeah.
So I think we'll wrap up soon, but let people know when you're fighting again. Where can they watch it?
My next fight will be October 23rd. I believe it's going to be broadcasted in the UK through ESPN and Sky Sports. So, or through Sky Sports. So, yeah, I mean, tune in if you can. If you can't, watch the highlights. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Definitely, I keep up to date on all my socials, whether it be Instagram or Twitter, whatnot. So definitely stay tuned because I'm always trying to update it as much as I can.
And just for people don't know, what are your socials so they can follow you and stuff?
My Instagram is Nico Ali Walsh, NicoAliWalsh. And then my Twitter is on my Instagram. I'm sure you'll be able to find it. It's right there.
Yeah. And then I guess my final question before we have you go off is
Yes.
outside of boxing, what are your ambitions?
I love film. I've always been into film, even before boxing. That was something that my grandfather always supported me. He would buy me cameras and stuff. So definitely film. I love film. I love business. I love boxing. If we can find a way to put them all together, that's what I would be doing.
You just need to make it like a Creed ripoff. There you go.
Right.
Everything combined.
A Creed third, Creed 3. I'll
There you
be
go.
directing that. Then my dreams will be made.
Perfect. Everything accomplished at what, 22?
Right.
All right. So if you got this far, fair play to you. We had a good old chat today. Just going to move on to the segment for our patrons. So thanks a million to Declan DeVito, Danny DeVito's cousin, ironically. So thanks a million for being our patron, being a sound lad, supporting the channel. And if you want to support us on Patreon, it's just patreon.com, awfully Irish. Link in bio and all that stuff. So thanks a million. Take it handy. And bye-bye.